A pleasant good evening to each and every one of you in Georgetown, Guyana, and elsewhere. Countrymen and countrywomen alike. Friends all. Before I started to shoot out my mouth, and I'm looking for your correction, I would like you to subscribe to my video and press the bell so you will get the updated one as soon as I'm finished. My reason for this is to let you know the truth, because so many things have happened in the past in Georgetown, Guyana, that the two major races will never forgive each other, even though one was more aggressive and the other one was very sly and very presumptuous. Now, I have no apology whatsoever for this, and I'm not telling you what I hear or what I read. Is what I witnessed growing up in Georgetown, Guyana. During the time of the British, Guyana was a symbolical country out of the British Empire. It was one after Barbados leading, followed by Trinidad and the other little island, Antigua, Dominica, Grenada, and else, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, St. Kitts. My friend, why am I saying all of this to you? Let me deal with first the commentary. I read some comments on my video, and it appears to be a Afro-Guyanese black brothers or sister, whoever, because I don't see a name on it, stated that the black people was kidnapped or was captured or was bought to bring to this hemisphere. They did not ask to get here. I would kindly ask the individual to sit down and study what you're saying carefully before you put it out. I blame the European as the white man. He should have never bring the Indian and the black out of Africa and India into this hemisphere. You should have leave them where they belong. I wouldn't have been here today because I have the both major blood in me plus other blood. Some of you ask me, where am I a mixed race, where I stand in Guyana? Well, let me be honest with you. After the indigenous race is the mixed race. Because we can't go to India. We can't go to China. We can't go to Europe and Africa and demand both rights, okay? And we are not emancipated. We was born there. So we cannot take side. But if we do believe in the teaching of Almighty God, the Bible, the Ram, and the Quran, and as the law says, he who receives stolen property is worse than the man who stole it. So then why are we wasting time? If you rob a jewel shop, and I bought the jewel and the police caught me, I get more jail and a bigger fine than the man who stole it. Isn't that true? If that is not true, close the effing court down in Guyana right now. Close it down. Because all of you are committing a crime against humanity towards another race. And I'm talking about you Indian and black people. Because you all are very illiterate when coming on the facts of life. Every nation make mistake in the part of this world. I want you to come in America, Canada, some part of the Caribbean, and Brazil and tell the black people that the white man should not bring them out. Many of them are doctors, lawyers, scientists, pilots, you name it, they are musicians. They're making millions, billions. Some make track boots in America and don't even bring it down for a price so their own black brothers could own one. It's 1,500, 2,000, some must have gone more. You think you put on that boot, you're going to go to heaven? Are you walking on clouds? My friend, stop being illiterate and wake the hell up. If the white man, as you say, the European, whether he's French, Dutch, Belgians, English, or whoever brought you out of Africa, you should thank your lucky star that your ancestor sold you to him. It is crucial because your nation in the time had never seen the white race as much. They had never seen the black race. But remember again, according to the historical event, you, the black race, was leading this world. You were kings and queens. You was ruling it one time or the other. And as all of you told me, many of you, Muhammad is black, Jesus is black, Abraham is black, then you mean to tell me y'all kill your own black leaders, the prophets? Y'all sold them to slavery? Then I now see why God maybe appoint the white race to teach your ass a lesson. Because y'all was beyond the way of life. You take advantage on the young women. One black man in Africa want 10 and 12 women to have them in the field and the belly big in the air. Child mother, child mother, child mother, child mother. And have them like if he's a king. I was in Senegal. I was in Nigeria, Ghana, and many, many more. You should count your lucky star. You are out of Africa in them days to inherit what won't even belong to you. Because you always put the white man down. Every time I hear the white man racial, let me be honest with you. Do you know what is race? If he was racial, he never bring you out from the first effing place. Did not he brought the Chinese too? Did not he brought the Indian as cheap laborer? Were the Indians who were brought out of India, were they asked to be brought? They were sold by their own for a price. And Africa, your ancestor link over tribal warfare, they captured the whole family and sold them to the European because your ancestor, according to them, was outcast of Africa. Come on, if you have a dog and you don't want to kill it, and it behaving bad, what you do? Or a cat, you stray it. Or you give it to somebody. But you're giving your disease to somebody else when you can't cure it, right? So you stray it. Some people kill it. Now, your ancestor in Africa at those days, the great ancestor, instead of killing out your generation, he sold them for a price. And they were brought into Fiji, other island along the way before they get to this hemisphere and Brazil. And if you think that the white man was bad, follow your history, what your black leaders was doing to them in them days. Killing the whole family, raping the women, cutting out your head. Get real, man. Come out of this negative bullshit and leave the past behind and let's go forward. That's the most I can ask you for. Stop being ungrateful and illiterate at the same time. In the days in Africa, you'd be beating a piece of wood as drum, knocking stick. Today you have steel band, nice drum set. You have guitar, saxophone, and you make it speak like if it is a human. You do not see the gift that was presented to you out of that supplement. Now let me tell you if you don't know. Going to Spain. Your black brothers ruled Spain for 700 years. Go see what they do to Spain. Go. While in Europe, in the Roman Empire, 60 to 80% of the military and advisors were black people. Go down into Egypt. Look at the thing they have there that tourists travel all over to go to see. Go. And if you think that that's bad and you think the white man killed black man, go to England and France and see what they do with each other. The last king, as I recall, beheaded Oliver Cromwell. Another white man chop his head out. King Charles. So what are you talking about? The Romans with your help was in England ruling. A woman drove them out. The English got a big coin with her on a horseback with a spear with a dragoon. My friend, every nation suffers something in the past. The Indians in India were sold by their own. They were slaves too in their own country like the Chinese. So when the Europeans, the white man, went there, they bring you out. Today you are scholars, scientists, doctors, some of the greatest storytellers. But you're so ungrateful. You're going back to 200-300 years, but you forgot what your ancestors do to their own and do to other race. Come on, man. If the Bible is true, because you black people love the Bible, because you love God, and that's right. But you forget who was your leaders? Go back. So you are in the modern time, so you're right. I blame the white man as a European. He should have never even bring y'all out to Africa. The world wouldn't have been what it is today. We would have never known nothing but one another, and I would have born like many more. Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, great singer Mahalia Jackson, Louis Armstrong, they would have born, my friend. Unto this day in modern Africa, there are a lot of them walking with no clothes on in the bush, like in Central and South America with indigenous people, like in Australia. But East Indians don't complain much because they are ungrateful to the core, covetous, treacherous, presumptuous, wicked, and very ungrateful. But again, you can't condemn the whole nation because there's still a lot of good one between all race. You have good white people, good black people, good Chinese people, good Indian people. But there are so few, they cannot come together because they're scattered. I will tell you here today, you black people are some of the greatest actors and actresses and singers. Look at how much of them is billionaire in America. Did they adopt any one of your black child in Africa? Madonna had to do it in Malawi. And others in England and Australia. I ain't seen adoption yet from a black rich man in America or Guyana or Norway to adopt a black child who are suffering. Answer me. And as for the East Indian race, they pretend to love God, but they love paisa, money, gold. They will sell their daughter for a penny. Stop condemning the modern white man and let's unite and go forward. Because the white man killed more white men than he killed any other race in the face of the earth. World War I, historically over 200 million people slaughtered. They were white people, friends. World War II, Adolf Hitler nearly annihilated the whole of the Europe continent. What are you talking about? Every race have a tribal affair, so we are the other. But you enter into that country. Many of you not wear in Africa, not even wear your tribal clothes, pure three-piece suits. Y'all are even using the word of God to lie to your brothers and sisters. Once the envelope is coming good, got your own plane and fancy car with plenty bodyguard with machine gun. And they're worshiping God. My God is my bodyguard and Savior. I don't need a bodyguard but Him. And I want to warn President Ali in Guyana as a young man. Don't let your appetite become more than your success or your future. With all they accuse you for, you are still doing better than Burnham, Jagan, Mrs. Jagan, even Barra Jack Leon. But I'm going to ask a question. Why when the PNC in power is a lot of fire? When the PPP in power is a lot of flood? Where is Mr. Corbyn? Where is Corbyn? Where is Asghar Ali? Where was them? According to information, it's alleged Asghar Ali was the finance minister and his son was working for the IMF. Does you all see the conflict of interest here? The one who lending the country money, the finance minister's son was working for them. How y'all don't see these things? But you who are destroying one another for the crumbs on the table of your politician. Only few of you get something, what the rest get. Barrett Jagdeo in a meeting in Queens. He gave Burnham down to the whole back of the garden and she sold it. And she make a nice piece of change. Are you black people in India are not ashamed? You Indian couldn't even live in India peacefully. You was divided over religion. So I have to expect that you will not like me if I'm a Christian or my Buddha. So come off of your high horse and your illiterateness and get educated and speak with love and wisdom to go forward. Come on. You Indian women out of India and in India, y'all love the opium and the pandit to open up the book. A book that was written 1,000 years ago could tell you about you today. Come on, man. Get out of that illiterate nonsense and look up to the heaven, to the rightful God, and treat the man next door to you, whether he's black, brown, yellow, green, or purple, treat him the way you would like to be treated. Come on! Stop the nonsense! This is the 24th century. The 24th century must mark with victory for all of us who's out of India, Africa, and China. You drove the white man out of India. You tell Bakra go home. He's home. Look at how much are you in England, France, and other parts of the world. And you're still coming. You're going through Mexico, paying people to cross the people border. Many of you are getting raped and killed, put in whole house, and you're still coming. Look, the black man of Africa running into Libya, Egypt, running into Saudi Arabia, the land of Prophet Muhammad, the great messenger. What become of them? They have been raping and killing them and enslaving them with the Philippines and the Indians. And you all not seeing that? Let me tell you something here today. There is a God. And I call upon y'all on this day, when a man was murdered yesterday that y'all call Good Friday, a day of sadness, mourning for an innocent man. Let's unite and remove the hypocrites them out of the parliament and elect leaders who care about the country. Both parties have good people, but their hands are tied. They may be living in fear. Be united and put Guyana forward. Open up the border to your less fortunate brothers in Africa where you came from, and India, China, and from the Caribbean, those who stand in our time of the Bornemism. There are a lot more to talk about. So for all you criticizing, but the black people didn't ask to come and they were sold and this and that, you're full of shit. Get your ass off of that. If they didn't do that, you wouldn't have been here. You might have been born in Africa. You might have been dead already. Or your ancestors would have sent you to the voodoo man. Because a lot of that happening in Africa. My friend, get civilized. Let's wake up and hold hands together. Since you're fortunate to be out, let the past be the past and look forward to a bright future and unite and make Guyana the stepping stone so the world can be proud of the children of slavery and cheap labor. Together we are one. Long live Guyana, and give the indigenous people the opportunity to be leader. We will claim Caracas and maybe Rio de Janeiro. Have a good day. May God be with all of you. And I am your host, George Correa. Thank you.